Hello, hello. Welcome back to Daily Endeavours for Friday the 22nd of August. So I'm back, internet's all fixed, so we're good to go again. Basically, the moment my internet went down, I realised a new patch came out, so I'm just going to go through that first before I get into everything else. Now, I do want to mention, firstly, timestamps in the description. Skipping through stuff, you know how it is. I also need to point out EU seems to be having issues with the servers. My latency in EU is like really fucking bad these days, so I don't think I'll be able to do any Endeavour videos properly on EU. I'm gonna have to just go back to doing NA for a while. I'll do like easy stuff I'll do on EU, but like anything combat related I'm going to need to do it on NA, because yeah, NA doesn't seem to be having issues with the latency, but yeah, it's like 600. I can't deal with that. So yeah, and it spikes really bad too. So like if I hop on my mount, like yeah, you can just see how fucking slow it is. So yeah, I don't think it's their fault. I think it could be anything. Like it could be the data centers. It could be the actual like the underwater cables could be damaged or some shit on the way to Europe. Who knows? Because yeah, you got to remember, I'm in a fucking different continent to everybody else. Australia is like isolated from the rest of the world, so we got to use fucking huge underwater cables to get networking, to get like fast networking to servers and shit. But yeah, so let's get into the patch notes. Okay, starting off, Feast of Shadows. It's the new DLC that's just come out. So we got two advanced group dungeons, as always with these dungeon DLCs. Necromancer is also on sale for 20% off. Only Necromancer though, the other classes aren't on sale. Bit weird. I guess it's related to the whole worm cult stuff, I guess. So these two dungeons can actually be found in the same DLC zone as Solstice, which is kind of nice. So we've got Nurse Koldish over here, and then Black Gem Foundry over here. Now, something I want to point out with one of the sets. So with Black Gem Foundry, the monster set is actually, it seems, is this crazy? Like, this set sounds ridiculous. Against bosses. 17,000 magic damage. Like, every 6 seconds, you look at something like Celine's, it's like, it's not even like a third of the damage in the same amount of downtime. It just, yeah, obviously you use soul gems, right? But it just seems utterly ridiculous. The only thing is, Celine you can use with anything, whereas the Black Gem Monstrosity one, is that what it's called? You must use the Soul Magic skill line, and there's only really practically one ability that you can use. Soul Trap is a damage over time effect, so you want to use this every 20 seconds, preferably. So that's not really a good option. You have Soul Strike, but that's an alternate. You can't rely on being able to use this all the time. And then the other one is Soul Burst, which is the scribing spammable AoE skill. It costs a lot more than Magical Soul and doesn't do as much damage to a single target. So Magical Soul is kind of the only one you can use. And based on my understanding, this is like one of the weakest single target spambles in the game. It is ranged, at least. But yeah, I guess supposedly it's designed to give you like incentive to use this if you want to use that in a build, for like role-playing stuff, but whatever. So, but yeah, that seems like a fucking absurd monster set for damage dealing. But yeah, the soul gem, that's a lot of soul gems. Like that's like, yeah, that's, what is that? That's 10 soul gems a minute, isn't it? Yeah, 10 soul gems per minute. That doesn't sound like much, but that would rack up quite quickly if you want to use this in like dungeons and shit. Because you're in dungeons for like 30 minutes, especially like late game ones. So that's like 300 soul gems. That's a fucking lot for a single dungeon. Yeah, interesting set at least. So the main thing with this update is water mounts. So no longer do you have to just rely on your character to wade through the water. You can use your mounts. Just a few things. Firstly, you can't sprint. It's impossible. And two, if you dismount, you cannot get back on until you get back on land. So just be careful not to dismount yourself. Also, this works in lava. So there's like a very specific circumstance I think that actually helps a lot. If you do City of Ash 2, there's a section where you can bypass a massive chunk of like enemies by going through some lava. Normally you can charge like off the jump with your mount and then dismount. Now you could probably just stay on your mount and just hop straight into the lava and wade your way through, because that'll be quicker. So yeah, that should be interesting. Next up, unidentified survey reports. So now, when you do writs and you end up getting a survey, they will come in these things here. And what this does is two good things. Firstly, you can trade them. So you can put them in guild stores, other people can buy them. If they need survey reports, say for an endeavor or for the golden pursuits, you can now buy them. You don't actually need to do writs yourself. I would still recommend that if you can do writs, do them. But if you're in like a rough spot, the endeavors are going to end soon and you need to do that quickly, then you can do that for an easy set of seals. But yeah, that is possible now, which is actually quite cool. Also for any of the harvesting resources endeavors, you can also use these for those as well. Like if you get the jury scenes one, you can use a survey for that. Other thing is they are stackable. So if I bought these two, I'm pretty sure they stack, which means instead of having 60,000 surveys in your inventory, you can now have them in the unidentified survey things and they'll stack into one. So instead of having 15 different surveys in your inventory, you'll just have like a stack of 5, for example. So inventory clump up is not as big an issue with surveys anymore as well, which is nice. Alright, so I consider it probably better to go through the patch notes now, just because I can explain things a little easier. So survey reports, we heard about that. Mount fishing, I've already explained that. There's some zone events going on with the worm cult stuff, and yeah, you've got the new dungeons. One of the first things I want to talk about is ultimate generation. Where is that? Oh yeah, we got sorry, I'll talk about this first. So we got Cyrodiil Vengeance campaign. Meatbag catapults are back, so I assume that'll add like a healing debuff, which is really good. Sky Shards, interestingly. I think that means you'll be able to get the Sky Shards in Cyrodiil, which might actually be decent. But yeah, we're getting a couple more skill lines. The armor skill lines, all 3 of them in one armor skill line will be there, and then mages and fighters guild as well, and they'll be balanced for vengeance. Got some new homes, new furnishings, all that jazz. So this is the part I really wanted to talk about. So firstly, ultimate generation. So TLDR, this is only an important thing to look at if you use subclassing, because it's basically forcing or removing the ability for multiple class ultimate gain passives to stack. For example, you've got the I think this is the Necromancer one, you've got the Nightblade one, the Dragonite one, so these can't all apply like alongside each other. It's only one that can apply at a time. They were originally going to be a source of major heroism or minor heroism, which sucked. But I think this is better. It's still not great, but yeah, better than it was, that's for sure. Okay, so the main thing here is the barrier and the meteor nerfs. I personally think these are quite shit. Firstly, barrier is getting its ultimate gained removed when the shield ends. I can't imagine a single person who looks at this and goes, yeah, I wanted to have the ultimate removed. I never wanted that to begin with. Like, I don't understand. Like, this just removes some interesting playstyles with this. Because, like, there's so many other ways to get Magicka back. There's not many ways to get a bunch of ultimate for stuff. Like, it's just boring, I think. Yeah, whatever. So, same thing with Meteor. They are restricting the amount of ultimate you get up to 6. So if you hit 6 enemies, that's the maximum amount of ultimate you can get. Whereas before you could get tons of ultimate if you stacked more enemies than that. Again, I think this is really boring and like low effort. I think they should have. There's so many other things that I think are more important to deal with than this. But yeah, again, it just seems like a shit thing. Just like we can't think of anything else to do, so let's just do this. Grim Focus, no longer getting stacks when you light attack or heavy attack. It has Major Prophecy and Sorcery instead. So this is a flat nerf to Grim Focus. You can get this buff other ways, and it was already on Cloak. They've removed it off Cloak, and now Cloak gives you minor protection. I personally think this is a massive like kick in the balls. Like this is shit compared to what they were before. Like it's minor protection as a trade-off for the amount of spell and weapon damage you got for this is just such a, like, it is not a good trade. Like they've lost a lot. Minor protection really isn't that great of a buff, especially since it's like multiplicative instead of additive. So it doesn't actually give you 5% reduced damage done. It's like 5% on top of the damage taken reduction that you already have. So it ends up being like, in most cases, it ends up being like 1 or 2%. So it's not that great. Whereas this, it increases your damage done and your healing done. So it's defensive and offensive. So yeah, just, I know I said originally it didn't need this, and yeah, it kind of doesn't. It's still a great skill, but yeah, as far as power vacuums go, they have not filled the vacuum for losing this much weapon spell damage. Major Prophecy and Savagery, there's like so many other ways you can get that, whereas there is no way you could possibly get this other than just having this skill. So yeah, it's shit. Catalyst, yeah, this has been nerfed a little bit, but it does suck. They originally had this as Major Heroism though, which means you couldn't use it out of combat. You can still use this out of combat, which means, you know, while you're waiting for shit, you can still just consume a potion and get it that way, which is still, it's okay. Better than what it was. Alright, so Bound Armor. TLDR, they've removed one being a Stamina and one being a Magicka morph. It's now that one is a defensive morph, one is a offensive morph. So Armaments is the offensive one. Instead of giving you 8% max stamina, it now just gives you... So this is not sorcery, by the way. This is an error. This is actually savagery. If you look in the game, yeah, Bound Armaments, Major Prophecy, and Major Savagery. So you don't just get the two Magicka based ones. It's just the crit chance ones. So yeah, I don't know how, because they're getting that buff that this originally gave you from this passive here, but it's forcing you and shoehorning you into using your dark magic skills, which means you basically are forced to use Crystal Shard, because these all cost a shit ton and they're not really practical for single target. So yeah, how people feel about that, I'm not sure, but I don't like that they're basically forcing you into one playstyle for this specific thing. Yeah, it's not as good as it used to be. I don't think either of these classes benefit from that. But whatever. Oh yeah, sorry. Dark Deal. Yeah, it's no longer giving you Mana Force. Fucking boring. Okay. Alright, so here's the other thing. So I don't like the class changes, but I think the set changes are nice. They are... TLDR, basically all the sets here, they're made weaker on the top end, like for people who can get the most out of them. But they're much easier to use for like the more casual side. There are a couple of things I want to specifically say though. Highland Sentinel, this is one of the ones they're making easier to use. So before you basically lost all the stacks straight away, whereas now it's like if you move, you only lose a bit of it, which is way better for people who just like, yeah, aren't able to. Basically, forces you. Sorry. So the original forced you to stay still. This basically you can move a bit and you will be inconvenienced, but you won't basically have to start again. It's way better than it used to be. Rush of Agony. Fucking way too late. But they finally changed this not to be as fucking obnoxious as it is. Extra Warning like gives you more visual effects to know when it's coming. And it starts in an area instead of where the enemy is. Fucking, like I said though, way too late. They let this thing run amok for fucking way too long. Rakut's Void Mantle, it's getting it's a unintended like side effect. They're removing it, and it no longer works with Overload's heavy attack as well, which sucks. But yeah, whatever. But yeah, you can see all these sets here. They're changing them a bit just to make them a little more easy to keep the stacks up. But they're mostly weaker than they were before, like at max. Like Coral Riptide no longer gives you 740 weapon and spell damage, it gives you 600, but it's the cap is 50%, not 33%. Barsay, though, I find to be one that actually benefited a lot. Where's Barsay's? It used to be 0% Magicka, you used to get the most damage done. Now it's 50%. Like, this was so much worse than Coral Riptide back when these two were, like, just before. But yeah, now they are both actually decent to use. Like, even for, like, players who can't make the most of it, I guess. But yeah, that's just me. I think, yeah, much easier to use now than they were before. But well of the depth. Getting fucking 3% extra damage. Alright. Sure thing. Oh yeah, interesting. Yeah, the Sunspire curation stuff. So apparently it wasn't working as intended. I don't know what that means. I haven't done Sunspire at all. But yeah, it's good that they fixed that, or tried to. It could still be broken. You know how Zenimax is. What's Vengeance? I've already talked about that. Oh yeah, destruction stuff. It didn't tell you what the target cap was before. It tells you now. I thought it used to be as many as you want, but yeah, there is a limit. Okay, crafting writs. Yeah, that's basically just a bug fix. But yeah, this one here. Turns out the enchanting master writs were actually still considered consumable for the Endeavor purposes. So yeah, sorry, I had no idea. But yeah. I swear I used an enchanting master it and it worked though for consumable. But yeah, if your PC has 6 cores or less, apparently there was an issue with game performance. So apparently that should be fixed. So yeah, interesting. Okay, so there's one more thing somewhere that I wanted to look at. Where is it? Mount. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Oh my fucking god, look at this shit. Fix the issue where this counts for endeavors. Mudcrabs spawning too quickly, they fix this. This fucking grinds my gears. The priorities that they have on fixing shit like this. Banished Cells 2, the fucking bubbles launch you up over the ceiling and you get stuck and you fucking die. And they're worried about fixing dumb shit like this. Oh my gosh. Fucking pisses me off. Fucking annoys me, man. Like, you should not be fucking focusing on shit like this. You should be focusing on things like displacement CC moving you and preventing you from fucking doing anything for 5 seconds. Shit like Banished Cells 2 still being broken after 10 fucking years. Not fucking not reducing the spawn rate of mudcrabs in a fucking zone. Oh, God. This is after I had a fucking break. Oh my god. It's probably the fucking most angry I've been about a patch notes in fucking years. Alright, that's everything. Okay, moving on now to endeavors. So we've got looting blue items or better, we've got deconstructing, we've got lighting, furnishings, group dungeon, and capture a resource in Cyrodiil. If you have the Somerset DLC, do these 3 things here. They're better, I think. If not, I'd say do a group dungeon. The only reason for this is while a resource could be a little bit quicker, it's much less reliable than a group dungeon. This will pretty much always be 5 or 10 minutes. Of like 3 or 5 minutes. This one might be 2 minutes, it might be fucking 15, just depending on how things work. So yeah, that's my preference there. So start with deconstructing. You need Somerset for this, unfortunately. There's 2 ways I suggest you do this one. Firstly, if you have some pewter in your bank or your inventory, just go to a jewelry crafting station and craft 8 rings and deconstruct them. Craft those, go to deconstruct, get these here and deconstruct them. And that's one quick way. If you don't have any pewter, you can buy some from guild stores. You could go mine it yourself. You will need, so it's 16, so you will need either 20 or you'll need 30 pewter dust. Yeah, pewter dust. Because you can refine between 7 to 10 from a single stack of 10. And yeah, so if you end up getting unlucky and you get like 14 or 15, then you're going to need to go find another stack of 10. But the odds are in your favor because it's 7 to 10. So if you just don't roll a 7 die, basically, you roll a 8 or a 10, that'll be fine. So yeah, most of the time you should be fine there with 20, but that is still quite a bit of time. If you can go get it from a guild store instead, that'll probably be better. If you are struggling to find pewter or just any jewelry material for crafting and deconstructing, there is another solution. Every time you complete a dolmen, you get a piece of jewelry from the chest at the end. You can also get jewelry picked up from dead enemies sometimes. Quite uncommon though. Wouldn't rely on that alone to do it. But yeah, 8 dolmens in total at least, like by maximum, and you can get this done too, which will take a few minutes usually. The best places for doing dolmens, I think, assuming you get the way shrines for them, is Oridon. They're all pretty close to the way shrine in this zone. Alakir is another good option. Sorry, I had to think about that for a second. Yeah, the dolmens are all pretty close here as well. You got this one here, and then this one here. And I quite like Shadowfen too. I do like the sets as well that you get from Shadowfen. They're simple and pretty good. So Shadowfen, it's over here, and then this one over here as well. So yeah, they're all pretty close too. Alright, lighting furnishings. This one you can do entirely for free. Let me show you how. So you want to find a NPC called Philan Demery. It's a female Breton. She looks like this. You can find her in 2 easy locations. One is in Glenumbra, in Daggerfall. This way shrine you start with by default, so everybody's got easy access to this. You just go into the door here. Should be close to where this house is here. So talk to her. You can also find her in Oridon, in Vocal Guard, right next to the way shrine here as well. So pretty much right there. So it's very easy to get to into these locations. All you have to do to complete this quest and get your free house is just to talk to her. Just exhaust dialogue for a little bit. You'll get a house for free. The one you get depends on your alliance. You'll either get in the collected section of the housing tab in the map section. It'll show up in collected here. So Mara's Kiss is one, Ebony Flask is another, and then Brazy Lion. Any of these 3 here. Doesn't matter which one you get because they all give you a lighting furnishing. So for example, I'll just travel to this one here. So click on it. It'll show you where it is on the map. Just go travel to Mara's Kiss inside. If you're here, you can also just travel by foot because the door's right there. So if you say do the one in Daggerfall on an Ebonheart packed character, you won't get that house. My advice is just create 3 characters on all the alliances and get all 3 of the free houses because they all are quite valuable to have in their own ways. Okay, so when you get these little tiny free houses, they will all come with a rough candle here, and this is actually a lighting furnishing. So what you can do is just come straight in here, pick this up, put it away. At the bottom left, you'll see it says undo. Just hit that key, hit redo, and undo again. And that will count as placing it. If you just pick it up and spam it like this, nothing will happen because it has to actually be in your inventory when you place it down. What undo does is puts it back in your inventory, but redo just places it back down so you don't have to go through the whole menu. It's just faster. Next up, we've got looting or stealing blue plus items, as I call it, just blue quality or better. So depending on the DLCs you own, this will either be really quick, pretty quick, or just like 5 or 10 minutes. This is a good option, but yeah, just the better certain DLCs you have, the quicker this will be. So Thieves Guild, I think, is the best one. The reason for this is Carrier's Hit List. So this is one of the items on Carrier's Hit List. And what happens is, when you take these items, they're gold quality. And if you... Oh yeah, I'll just show you here. So let's grab this item. It's in here. And if I... So it's just one, right? So you're going to be like, oh, what do you do now? Well, what you do is you destroy it. And it comes back. So you can just loot the item again. Take that. And every time you destroy it, it'll come straight back. And so you can basically just go to one spot and just do this whole endeavor in one go. Now, you need to have been to Hughesbane which is the Thieves Guild DLC zone over here. Discovering a Bar's Landing is the only requirement for actually being able to do this, because I don't actually have Thieves Guild. If I go to the DLCs menu, I don't actually have this purchased. So, it's provided that you've been to Hughesbane in the past and you've unlocked Harry's hit list, just like with the Thieves Troves in the Thieves Guild skill line, so long as you've actually unlocked it, that's it. You can now use this forever. So, provided that you've, because what happened was recently I told people with ESO plus free trial being a thing, go to Hughesbane and just unlock that zone, and now you'll be able to do Harry's hit list. So that should be good now. So if you don't have access to Thieves Guild, either, I guess you could just get like a month of ESO Plus, just go straight to Hughesbane, unlock that place, and then you'll have it forever. You don't need ESO Plus for that point. Or you could just spend a couple of extra minutes just doing some of the other options. It's up to you if you think that's a good idea, or if you'd just rather just not spend 15 bucks. It's your call. It's, I can't fault you for either of those decisions. Option number 2 is Necrom Underways in Necrom. So getting here, you need the Necrom DLC to access this. You start with this Wayshan by default, so it's quite easy to actually get here. So you can either go here, or you can use the House Journey's End Lodgings. Either of these options here, through if you use Home Tours to get to Journey's End, that could be one way. But yeah, it's pretty quick getting here with Necrom Outskirts anyway. So just unlock this Wayshan, just come up here, over this road, and then go through the door here, and you'll get to Necrom Underways. So this place has shit tons of urns, and these urns can have recipes, they can have motif books, they can have just the furnishing plans as well, and they can come in blue quality. So that's what you're looking for basically. You're just opening a shit ton of urns very slowly because the latency is really bad. Yeah, just keep looking through the urns. Oh, shit! Holy shit. I don't think I've found one of these things since, like, 2015. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be blue quality. It can be purple or gold quality. It still counts. Just like the Carry Sit List stuff. So just keep looking through these urns and you'll get, like, a bunch of items like that. You will usually have to go through quite a couple of things here. But yeah, eventually you'll find some stuff. Blue quality or better. God, the lag is so bad on EU right now. So the other good thing about the Necrom Underways, compared to other places, is say you clear all of these urns here, you take everything from them, and they end up being empty. If you just head through the into the Outlaws Refuge and come back out, it technically counts as leaving the zone when you enter an Outlaws Refuge. And what that means is everything in the zone of Necrom will actually reset. So all those urns will actually fill up and have stuff again. And some of those items can be like blue quality stuff. So that's really good. So when we come back in here, you'll see all these urns are actually full again. And they'll have different stuff. Okay, so the base game way is to basically do the same thing as the Necrom Underways in two places. I use the Volkagard Manor and Treasury, and in Daggerfall, I use the Daggerfall Castle. So what I do is I go back and forth between these zones. So I run to this castle, I clear it out, or I check every wardrobe or finisher. I come back to the Wayshrine, I go to Oridon, and I do the same thing in the bank here. I don't know if this is like the best place to do this, but this is the one that's worked well for me. So firstly, make sure in gameplay you set auto loot stolen items to off. Because if you open these wardrobes without that setting, you will take stuff in them straight away. It's good for the Necrom Underways because there's nobody in there to actually spot you. But in here, you don't want to be just taking everything that you find straight away, because you will get a bounty very quickly doing that. So you basically just want to just sort of peruse. You want to window shop, basically. Just don't take anything unless it's blue quality. So yeah, it's the same thing. So you're just basically checking urns. Oh, nice. Beautiful. So in this case, you just go into the corner. Just make sure this person here is not moving. Grab that there, and we're good. So the biggest problem that you'll have, or the biggest threat, is the guard that comes through here. So there is a guard who patrols along this place. one of them comes through this way, and especially this spot here, you want to hang here, not here, because this guy here will spot you, and the guard also spots you when they come through. Same with like coming over here. You just want to be careful with the people that are around. Come out here, check these two cabinets, and then before you finish off, just come into this room here. There's 4 furniture items that you can actually check, and they are not... They're stolen, but you won't get a bounty because the only things in here are like cats, so they can't report a crime. So yeah, just check those, and then I usually leave and just go to Deconstruct Castle and do the same thing. Because yeah, this works exactly the same way as entering the Outlaw's Refuge in Necrom, and so you reset Auridon by going to Galanumbra, and when you go to Auridon to do the next one, it resets Galanumbra. So you can just keep coming back and forth and just doing this over and over. Coming into Deconstruct Castle, there's this wardrobe here, and on the other side you'll see a wardrobe here. In this room there's a couple you can check, the cabinet here and the cabinet over here. You can check the other stuff, but I find they don't have anything, like they have food items usually, so they're not super useful. Nightstand over here's got some good stuff usually. Trunk over here. You've got the... sorry, that's the nightstand. So you've got the trunk. You've got the nightstand up here. You've got... there's nothing over here, I believe. But there's a nightstand over here as well. Going upstairs now. There are a couple of furniture items over here. You've got a food one here, so that's not usually great. But this dresser here is good to look at. This desk. The wardrobe here. The nightstand if it's got stuff. These 2 wardrobes here can have blue quality stuff as well. The nightstand here, or the desk, sorry. You've got the nightstand, the wardrobe. This safe box can sometimes have blue stuff, but it's, as far as I'm aware, it's actually quite rare for it to have anything. So it's got green stuff usually though. Dresser, got the nightstand, dresser, backpack, dresser, trunk. And yeah, at this point I just go outside, go to Auridon and just reset. And just do the stuff in the bank. Okay, time for a group dungeon. So there's only one I suggest you ever do. You can basically kill 4 enemies, 2 just like minions, and that's it. You can progress straight through the to the end of the fight. Well, end of the dungeon, sorry. So, Fungogodo 1. This is the only one I suggest, on the western side of Stonefalls here. Now, right now, normally I suggest you use home tours, but it's not working for me right now. If you can get this working, go to Craigenmoor over here, and look at Craigenhome. Look up the houses on home tours, travel to one, go out the front door. This will rock up, you'll rock up in Craigenhome, pretty close to Fungogodo 1. If you can't get home tours working, my advice is do the lighting furnishing endeavor, get access to the Emily Flask by doing that quest for Phelan Demery on an Evanhart character, and then you can use this to travel to Fungogodo 1. It'll still take a couple of minutes, but yeah, it's quicker than starting at the Waitron, the only one you've got access to in Stonefalls at the beginning. Alright, so the reason I suggested this dungeon over anything else is because you only have to kill 2 enemies. Theoretically. You'll probably have to kill 4, because the first boss has like a couple of minions that help him. But you can actually, if you somehow manage to not aggro those 2, you can just kill the boss and not have to kill them. Yeah, I'll show you what I mean. So this boss here, this is the first target. You can't actually go through the dungeon doorway here until you kill him. So what I suggest you do is bring this guy over here. And now just kill this guy. I suggest getting rid of the 2 minions here first, because they're the ones that actually put the Dragon Knight standard on the ground. Right, and now we just deal with this guy. Okay, once he's dead, go through the door, and you just jump down the river here, and just go straight to the final boss, who's found here. You might aggro some mud crabs too on the way, but just like one small group. You see like an AoE spam ball, and then you can kill them all basically. Yoink. Just through the bridge here. And you can just jump up from the water over here. I'll put on my damage build. I'll use some food too, because all my sustain is fucking terrible. Alright, so the only thing this guy does that's weird, he's got like a heavy attack that comes out pretty quick. He's got a big explosion that he does when you're close to him. That one there. And then at 67%, I believe, he'll spawn mud crabs. There it goes. So he'll spawn one group of mud crabs, and then he'll move again at 33% to the other side, and he'll spawn another group of mud crabs. There it goes. Put my destro down now. And he'll die in like 5 seconds. Yep, there it goes. Alright, so that's a group dungeon. Quick as that. What was that? How long did that take? Yeah, 4 minutes. So, yeah, it's pretty damn quick if you can get that done with a decent build. And yeah, you don't need like a powerful build. Basically, if you've got Vigor, you can kind of do this on any character pretty much. It's just how long it's going to take. Might take like 10 minutes if you've got like a... if you don't have many champion points, for example. But yeah, you basically guaranteed this. Okay, capturing a resource in Cyrodiil. So, these here are resources. So, lumber mills, farms, and mines. So, there's a little bit of combat involved, but I think most of the annoyance of this one is going to be actually getting to a resource to take. Because most of the time you're going to need to go to enemy keeps to do it. And that's a problem, because while you're taking this, enemy players can actually move over to these. And if they see that one of their resources is under attack, they might investigate and, like, confront you. Now, for PvPers, that's probably not a problem, but I imagine, like, established PvPers are probably not going to be watching a video on how to do a resource, because they'll know how to. Yeah, it's not great. The best case scenarios is when you go to your keep, but one of the resources is under enemy control, because it means they can't respawn at that keep, because it's not under their control. And if you are to die, you can respawn much quicker because it's right next to you, whereas in this case, like if you went to this one over here, you'd have to respawn here and go all the way back. So it's just a lot more work doing that, whereas if there's one next to one of your keeps, it's just much easier. Okay, so I've just got this old recording of like a resource I took ages ago, but I think it still works just fine for explaining this. So the first thing I suggest you do is not charge straight at the flag and try and attack these guys. So these guys over here will usually aggro if you do, and there's someone you can't actually see. In the tower, there's a mage. That is the first person I suggest you target, because these guards on the bottom here, if you go straight to the flag, they'll all engage you, but if you go up to fight the mage, these guards basically won't fight you because they're too far away. So my very first suggestion, ignore all the guards right just there on the flag. Go just do a beeline straight for the tower and go straight for the mage guard. Maybe before you hit the mage guard, kill one of the guards, because like the regular guards that come up, because they'll probably do that too. Yeah, basically just divide and conquer. Once you're fighting the enemies in the tower, all these guys here, they won't mess with you. So you can kill these guys and then focus on like half as much stuff trying to hit you as before. Because the mage guard's like the worst for like damage taken. That dude like just pelts you with shit all the time. Yeah, you can see here I've put my attention on just this guard. As soon as this guard's dead, I'm going to turn around and get the mage as well. But you can see like nobody else has actually come up the tower. It's just this one. So you're dealing with less shit at a time. Obviously it's slower, but it is a lot of work fighting all those enemies down there at once. Like it's tough. Yeah, you can see the other enemy there. They've de-aggroed. There's like a aggro leash range that they can use. Yeah, here's the mage guard here. This is the fucker you want to kill straight away. And you can see the healers down there are trying to heal it, so that'll happen too. But yeah, it's not worth trying to stop the healer because you're going to have to go down there and try and interrupt them. So yeah, you can see here again, I'm just what is it? Yeah, divide and conquer, that's the word. Alright, so there's a healer on the left here. I'm going to focus them first because they're on their own. The healers are much, much weaker than the two guards here. These honor guards are fucking brutal. They're the last person you should fight. The healers are way quicker. Because the honor guards, they do dragon blood and it gives them all their health back. So yeah, just trying to fight them first with the two healers healing them even more is just, it's rough. So you can see down the at the health bars there, you've got like that circle with the old Mary icon. So now, slowly the flag is going to change from Old Mary to Ebonheart. So this, in my opinion, is like the most it's the most anxiety-filling part of this for a PvE, because you're just waiting basically for someone to come up and wreck you and spoil all your work. Because yeah, it takes a while. The more players you have around this part, the quicker it'll be. Because yeah, extra players speeds up the process. So yeah, if you can, follow a group around to do this. But yeah, if it's like a quiet campaign, and you know you can see a resource that someone hasn't taken next to like a friendly keep somewhere, yeah, go ahead and do it. But yeah, in any other case, yeah, wouldn't really suggest it too much. So there you go. So as soon as you see the guards pop up, that's it. You're done. And you can just get the hell out of there. Right, so last thing, if you don't... say you take a resource at an enemy keep, instead of going all the way back to one of your keeps to get out of Cyrodiil, what you can do instead is go to Imperial City. If you queue for that, it takes you to a safe zone, turn around, look for a tunnel with a door in it. Just go out that door, it'll take you back to Overland, and it's much, much quicker, I think, in most cases than just going back to one of your keeps. It's also safer, especially if like your the resource you've taken has like gotten attention, you know. So yeah, that's it. Like I said, I would probably suggest doing the dungeon because it's just more reliable. But yeah, just remember to look for enemy resources at your keep, not the enemy ones, because they'll always be quicker. Alright, so that's daily's done, and that's the patch spoken about. I'm going to do the weekly soon, probably tonight. We'll see how we go. Yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support as always. I'll see you next time, and take care for now.